this is Robert from Bristol in England. For those of you that like your chess and play a lot of chess, it's a real struggle sometimes. You play people and you find that often perhaps their character comes out in their play, their temperament and everything. You can kind of sense it. You've got those who are calm and calculated and play at a leisurely speed, and you've got others that play hectically and they might be all out attack against you, aggressive, or they're passive, whatever. This game was most unusual because I hadn't played this guy before. He's a 47-year-old Bangladesh citizen. That's the flag I got there, Bangladesh, because I don't have a picture of him. And he's a good player. He played really well, and I won't say about what happened in the game because you're going to find out in a moment. But it was a real tussle. It was a fight. It was a fight to the death. And so I'm going to share it with you now. I hope you enjoy it. And this is how it went. I was playing black in this game. My opponent began with e4. And I played c5, my usual Sicilian. Knight f3, knight c6. Bishop b5. This has become popular lately on internet chess. This is on Arena. We're playing a 10-minute rapid game, so we don't have an awful lot of time, and time does come into this match very much. But this particular bishop b5 has become quite popular, and it's not always easy to deal with because you don't really want to lose that knight, but is white going to take it? This is the thing. And so I played d6, so I'm going to just carry on as normal. And if he takes, he takes. I double the pawn, but I'll get rid of it again. So he never took, he cancelled. So then I went bishop d7, so I was pleased with that. Because now if he takes, I can play bishop takes, and I've got a nice bishop on c6, bearing down on the white king. So he played c3, which is the line that white play in this. So they can either bring the bishop back to a4 and back to c2, a bit like in Nari Lopez. But I continued with e6, just steady, rock solid system. And the Sicilian, he played d3, so he's played a closed kind of opening here. It's not an open attack against my Sicilian defense. So I attacked the bishop, and he went back to a4. Attacked again with the b pawn, and he went back to c2, just as I thought he would. So we've got a bit of a, like I said, Nari Lopez to a degree, but I carried on with queen c2 now, so that I'm ready for any e5 push. And he played bishop f4. This is a bit annoying because now he's pinning my pawn to my queen, and it's quite dangerous. I have to be wary of that. So I played e5. I just don't want him being on there at all. So he went back to g6, and now I played knight f6, d4, cd, cd, and knight h5. So I'm actually attacking the bishop now. Usually going out onto the rim is not a good idea with knights because you don't get the best scope from them. But I'm really trying to nobble that bishop because I don't like that bishop on that diagonal. It would interfere in my play. So he's played a crafty knight takes e5, threatening to take my knight on h5 with his queen. So I took the bishop regardless, and he took back with the f pawn, giving him an instant attack with knight and bishop on f7, but I do get not pawn takes knight, and then he played bishop to b3, giving him another attack with the bishop and the rook bearing down on f7. So I played f6. Normally I wouldn't play such a move, but it was the best move to play, I think. I consider that as being better than playing knight to d8. I don't want to play that. So he's pushed the pawn on now, attacking the knight. So I've gone knight into d4, attacking his bishop, and he's brought his knight out. Now that knight I've got there on e4 is a great outpost, and it could be a beautiful knight to have there if he doesn't challenge it with his knight. So I've now played bishop into d6. This will prevent the d pawn from moving forward and giving him a beautiful diagonal with that bishop. If you look at it, the bishop's going no place. So he's played rook to c1. This is a veiled threat on my queen. He can play knight takes b5, and he's got a lovely attack on my queen, so I have to do something about that. So I played queen to b6. Now I've got a veiled threat on his king, where I can play knight takes bishop, check, and then I can pick up the rook after king h1, and I castled. And I won't be able to move my bishop on d6 until I move my king, or block that attack on my king. So he's played stop the b4 push, and I've played rook c8 with my rook on a8. So this is shaping up now. So now he's dropped the bishop back. He wants to go bishop to b1, I believe. So I've played bishop e8 because I've got a plan now. I'm playing my bishop into a good square. So he's brought his queen out. He's threatening my rook on c8, which is not protected. So what am I going to do? I played the bishop out to g6. Now my rooks are connected. There's no worry about him taking my rook on c8. He's got no check on e6 because my knight is covering that square. So he's pushed up the pawn to try and attack my bishop. Now here I went into a think for a couple of minutes, which isn't a good idea when you've only got 10 minutes. I'm already down to about 3, and he's around about the same. And I was thinking about this and that and all the rest of it, and I completely made a mistake and forgot that when I attacked his queen with the h-pawn to prevent his h-pawn moving on, I completely left my bishop unprotected. Oh dear, that was a terrible, terrible mistake. What a blunder that was. And he immediately pounced on it with queen takes g6. So I pushed my pawn on. First of all, I need to attack. So I played b4, a takes b, queen takes b, and I'm attacking the b pawn. He played the rook up to f2 to protect that. And now I played rook c7. The plan is to go across with my rook to f7 and really fortify my king, protect it. So he's gone queen back to h4. I'm not sure why he went there, but I played the rook across now. So I've got some real protection on my king now. I'm only a bit weak on the h7 square, but his bishop, even if it went back to b1, cannot attack that square. So he's brought his knight back. He wants to go to e3 and then to f5. That would shift my knight, which is beautiful where it is, because he would be attacking my bishop and he'd be threatening a check on e7. So this is dangerous. I've got to keep an eye on that knight. But he made a mistake, because when he went back with the knight, he blocked off the rook on the back rank, and I was able to check him. And he went to h2. And so I've got the pawn on e4. But when I took it, I immediately thought, what have I done? What have I done? He's got bishop to b1, threatening mate on h7 if I move my queen. So what am I going to do? What can I do? Well, there was only one move I had, and it's not a good one, but it's the only one, and that's g6 to attack his queen. So now I can stop the mate this way, but he can still go queen takes check, queen takes queen, bishop takes queen, and he will then be 2 pawns up. But he didn't do that. What he did was played queen h6, because he's trying to be clever here, and he thinks, well, he's got to move his queen anyway, and then he can take that pawn on a g6 with his bishop. But he's not calculated this right, because I can go queen g4, and even though he can take that pawn, I can play rook g7. He's gotten a checkmate, and he would have been better not to have taken that pawn earlier, and the queens would be off now, and I would have 3 pawns against his 5. The thing that I've got going for me is my rooks are quite active, really, and also I've got a brilliant knight. The bishop's not in the game at the moment, but if I get it going in the game, I've got a really good chance of maybe getting back into this game. So I am 2 pawns down. I just see he's got to do something now, because he's going to lose a bishop. So he's pushed the pawn on to h5, and I've gone knight into e2, attacking the rook on c1 and the pawn on g3. And it's quite dangerous, because I can even push on the e pawn if I wanted to, with a bishop also attacking that g3 square. So I'm creating some problems for him now. So he played the rook up, which he thought was the only move, to c3. So I took it, and he took with the pawn. I thought, what is going on here? Why didn't he take it with the knight? I don't know. I can only assume that he wants to go knight into e3 to make my queen move away. So I've got queen takes knight if I want. That would put me in a winning position on the board materially. But I pushed the e pawn on first, because I still want to have that attack with queen threatening to take the pawn on g3. Now he should still go knight e3 anyway, but he didn't. He played the queen back instead to e3. So now I'm getting very confident here. I really like what's going on, because I know he wants to play h6 to attack the rook. Quite dangerous for him, though I can go rook takes bishop if he did that. So yeah, it's not quite working. So I took the knight now, the extra rook, for the 2 pawns. Now he's taking the pawn on e4, so it gives him 3 pawns for the rook. And I played bishop to c5, attacking the rook. So he put the rook across to a2, and I played queen to g1 check. I've now worked out that he's going to lose his queen in a few moves, and so he's got to go to h3. I can drive his king into the center. Queen h1 check, king g4, and there we go, f5 check. He cannot take with the bishop because the bishop's pinned. His queen is gone because I will take it once he moves the king. So he took with the queen, rook takes queen, and he has to take with the king. And this is where I now go check on b1 and pick up the rook. So this is the end of the game. It doesn't matter what he does now. It's going to be over. I finally fought my way out of the mess I got into, and fought back and got what I consider was quite a good win in the end. So he played king to h5 and I took the rook, and he even pushed his h-pawn on. So I just played rook takes bishop, king takes, and then queen takes. He played h7 check, king in the corner, and then c4. And queen e4 check, king f6, and he resigned at that time. He'd had enough. So that was the end of the game. So this was a strange game. It was a bit seesaw. It went from one to the other. He was definitely better off after he won my bishop. But I did manage to rally my troops. First of all, I protected the king, and then I went on the attack. Do something. Your tactic has to be to attack your opponent and try and get your pieces moving so that you can have threats and get yourself back into the game. And towards the end there, he had less than a minute, and I also had less than a minute. In fact, he had, I think it was about 15 seconds, and I had about 8. So I had to really be playing fast chess and as accurate as I could. But it was enough to win the game, to which I'm very thankful. So thanks for watching this. I hope it was an enjoyable game for you. Plenty of action, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching.